topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good afternoon, California. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show. Today's show is brought to you by Taxation Solutions. This is a company that I have been literally working with for about 10 years now. They've been an expert with us. And I've got to tell you, when it comes to tax resolution, tax relief, I got to tell you, you got to be so careful. And what we're doing here is we just have one of the greatest taxation solution companies in the United States. And I'm telling, we're going to be giving you their number. If you're watching on TV, you can actually see the scroll. If you've got a friend, a family member who's having a IRS problem, you don't want them handling it themselves. You want to give them taxation solutions. So today we've got Barry Fowler. He's the president and founder of Taxation Solutions. He's what's called an enrolled agent. He's licensed to represent taxpayers before the Internal Revenue Service. You know, those guys that carry guns now. His experience in tax and finance industry spans over 30 years. And what's so important about that is there are so many fly-by-night companies out there. And what I've learned is a lot of these companies take on new clients and they just, excuse my expression, they piss them off and they leave. And so does the tax resolution companies, and they just go out of business. Barry's been in business for 30 years. His expertise includes tax resolution, tax planning, tax return, and preparation. He's been instrumental in helping thousands of people resolve complex tax issues with the IRS. Welcome, Barry.
Hey, Steve, how are you today?
Doing well. Now, Barry is from Houston, and if you are a baseball fan, you know what happened to Houston last night. Now, I'm not rubbing it, Barry.
We're not talking about that, Steve. You know, I've had a busy day. We haven't had to even think about what happened last night. I mean, I've been giving a seminar to business owners today about tax and business debt. Last week, I was at one of the largest associations for truckers, and we were talking about bookkeeping, taxes, and trucker tax problems. So, I mean, it's been a busy week since October 15th after we finished the tax deadline. And all we've been doing is talking to people and trying to help them through their tax problems, especially those business tax problems.
Yes. Barry, what is the most likely reason a business does owe taxes?
Well, you know, that was a great lead-in, wasn't it? Because we're talking about business taxes here. But, you know, the biggest reason is payroll taxes. And it's really easy for businesses to fall behind in those payroll taxes because, you know, it gets really expensive. I mean, you're paying not only your 7.5%, plus you're paying the unemployment, and then you got to pay in the employees 7.5% for Social Security and Medicare. And then you pay in their federal withholding as well. So, you know, that all accumulates to a lot of money. Well, when you are in this kind of economy you see a lot of downturns. Sometimes you see a lot of pressure on, revenues, and the expenses keep going up, and you got to keep those employees paid. Well, the first thing that you find that you could actually easily skip out on sometimes is those payroll taxes, because the IRS doesn't see that, for about a month, 2 months, or 3 months. And it's going to impact you somewhere down the road. So, yeah, I'm at home. So if you hear my dog, she's
that's okay.
kind of
Barry,
going crazy.
What happens? You're seeing a lot of companies going out of business. What happens if they owe the IRS when they go out of business?
Well, see, when you owe the IRS, there are a couple of levels of taxes. So in that payroll tax, there is the taxes that the company owes, and then the taxes that you withhold from that employee. Well, those taxes are considered trust fund taxes, meaning you are trusted to pull that money out of their check and give it to the IRS. Well, the IRS can come back and, when you file your 941s, or even if you don't, and assess what they call trust fund penalties. Those are civil penalties, and they get assessed to the owners of the company. They also get assessed to any other person that is working in the company that has signature authority on a checking account. So if you're a manager working for a business and you sign checks,
yes,
you could be held accountable for it, even if you did not benefit from it one way or another. So that business goes under. You as an owner get assessed. Sometimes those managers get assessed. We represented, I think last year, a manager for a restaurant. Matter of fact, right out here in California. And that manager was getting assessed. Well, the only thing they really had control over was petty cash. They were on the signature card. We actually had to go back to the owners and to the bank to get signature card proof and check proof that they did not sign any checks to get them off. We had a young lady who also was a manager for her mom and dad's business. And the trust fund penalty amounted to almost $1 million. And it was assessed not only against her parents, but it was assessed to her as well. And she also owned a couple of houses that had no debt on them. And so she had plenty of money, within the houses and assets to pay the whole thing back. When we managed to get all of those trust fund penalties removed from her and get her cleared up and scot-free in this environment. So, there's a lot of work we got to do to get people off. It's possible to do it. And then taking those business owners, we've got to look at, different ways of getting them off, whether it might be an offering compromise, it may be non-collectible status. There's a lot of different things we can do to help a person get through it. And that's when that business is shut down. A whole different ballgame when you start dealing with operating business that is still operating, though.
Yeah, I imagine that. That must take a lot of work, Barry.
Well, it does. And I mean, it takes a lot of specialized knowledge in business and business taxes. And then what are the routes within, the IRS? You take that company that's still operating, and, we've got to find a way to get that company to be able to pay back as much as they can in, payroll taxes. We dealt with a childcare business, and they were making an unbelievably amount of money, but for whatever reason, they did not pay their payroll taxes. Well, we managed to get this thing delayed out long enough that they did not assess trust fund penalties on them. And the year that they were going to assess it, we managed to get the owners to pay all the trust fund part of it back as quick as possible. So before he could actually get done assessing it, they were done paying for the trust fund penalties. So it just left us with the payroll taxes for the company to pay, and kept the owners at least scot-free as far as being responsible for that, civil penalties and stuff like that. So, we use a lot of different techniques out there to get them to this situation so that we can save them. But like we tell everybody else, we can't help you unless you pick up the phone and call us at 877-996-6477. Or check us out on the web at taxationsolutions.net. You can call us anytime. It is a free call. We've got people standing by, and if we're not available, we do have an answering service. Just leave a message with them, and they'll go through a lot of the stuff with you. And then we can set up a free consultation with you to be able to talk about those taxes and how we can stop the IRS from taking everything your business has or everything you have, because they do get nasty over these payroll taxes. It's not just something that
they
can't afford it, so we're just going to let them go.
Yeah, they can really get out of hand, can't they, Barry?
Oh yeah, you can go on U.S. Department of Revenue or Treasury, and you can see where they are selling business assets, buildings. If you can't get a professional to get in there and help you, there's really no limit to what the IRS can do. They've got to go through their due process, and they've got to go through their all the steps to get there, but it doesn't prevent them, unless you've got a good expert helping you, it doesn't prevent them from taking everything you have, which is a really bad situation for you. And not saying you can't do it yourself, because there's times you can actually work with a revenue officer and you get a good one that maybe will listen to you and do some things. But I always tell you, you're better off with representation. Even if it's not us, get somebody out there that can work with the IRS for you. It takes the stress off your shoulders. You can actually sleep a little bit better at night. I mean, granted, if you owe $1 million to the IRS, who's sleeping? Yeah. You're going to be always looking over your shoulder and waiting for when the next shoe is going to drop. But
if those envelopes they stick in the drawers don't go away, do they?
No, and even the ones that you throw in that circular file doesn't go away either. And and if you're like us, out on the ranch, when we burn things, burning those nasty letters aren't going to help them go away either. It's just going to provide a little nitrogen in the ground and grow some more weeds or something. The only way to do it is address the problem.
One of the things that impressed me most about you, and over the years, Barry has shared a lot of stories, no names or anything, just shared things, how they've been able to help people. But I think some of the things that the agents, the IRS agents, you've had to correct them or educate them on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've been in this business for as long as I have been in this business and dealing with different types of IRS problems. And people go, my problem is unique. My problem is different. I'm embarrassed. Well, don't be embarrassed. I mean, we've seen it all. If you come with something new, I'm impressed. I'm going to go, hey, wow, that's really new and unique. And now let's get you a situation to get you out of it. But I've been doing this long enough. I've heard all the stories. I've heard the reasons, and everybody's got a different reason and a good reason. Some are valid. Some are just, hey, it is what it is. We're not passing judgment on you. But when we talk to people, we're going to be realistic. We're going to tell you what we can do for you, how we can help you, what you could actually do by yourself instead of using us or somebody else. If it's more reasonable for you to be able to handle and deal with this problem, we're going to tell you that. But if it's something that we can get you a solution for, we're going to find you that solution that's going to save you the most amount of money. When we go out and we reduce trucking companies' penalties, well, we reduce their penalties by more than $750,000.
Wow.
$750,000 reduction in penalties because of all the tax problems they got into, from everything from failure to file to filing late, not paying taxes, not paying payroll, you name it. They had it all on top of them. And, we got rid of, $750,000 worth of penalties.
That's amazing.
Those are the little things that we do. And I call that a little thing. because they owed a lot more money than that. But we got rid of those penalties, and now we actually, with that particular trucking company we were dealing with, we actually were able to go back and amend a return that was done 6 years ago and get the IRS to accept the amended return and reduce the taxes as well. So, everything's got to be put together in the right way to make all this work and to get you the best deal. And that's what we design.
What else happens, Barry, when a business owes payroll taxes?
So those liens, those levies, when you're not responsive to the revenue officer that ends up getting assigned to your case, he or she will file for that right to levy your bank account. And once they do that, they can do it pretty much whenever they really want to, because you've already been notified of it. Now, what I'm going to tell you is most of our clients will tell you they never got notified. Well, just because you don't go pick up that certified letter doesn't mean you're not notified, because they issue that certified letter, whether you pick it up or not, you were notified. If you changed the address and didn't update it and they sent that certified letter to some other address, you've been notified even if you didn't get it.
Wow.
And that means they levy that account. The reason these revenue officers levy that account is, guess what? It immediately gets your attention. Trust me, if there's nothing in your bank account, you're going to do payroll. Guess what? It got your attention immediately.
Yeah.
And now every single one of your employees knows you've got a problem. You don't have money. And sometimes we can get involved and get that money back as well, and be able to make payroll, be able to make that payroll tax deposit, the things that you need to do that we need to start getting corrected and get you on that straight and narrow, that good path of trying to find a way to get in compliance with the IRS. And we tell people right up front, you hired us to be your advocate. Now, we're not only going to be your advocate there at the IRS, but we're going to be your advocate to get you going in the right direction so you can keep your business and you can keep doing what you do. And that means, hey, let's start when you do payroll. Make sure you pay your payroll taxes each time. Let's get it going the right way. Give me the ammunition to be able to fight against that IRS agent who is looking for every reason to shut you down or take the money you have, or find the assets that they can take from you and maybe even put up in the auction and whatever else they're going to do. So, we've got to find a way to help you down that path.
Barry, you get a lot of clients who've tried to do this themselves. And first of all, people do have to know that these IRS agents are very, very good at collecting. And the playing field is not level if you're trying to do this yourself without a company like Taxation Solutions. Because many times you could say something that you don't think is a big deal, but it gives them a roadmap to your money. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, very definitely. I mean, when the IRS is asking you questions, they're not doing it for the sake of being friendly or being nice or anything else. You're dealing with the biggest, baddest, the worst collection agency there is in the world. And they've got more power than any other collection agency out there to get you into compliance, get the money from you. When you talk about the IRS, just put those two words together, because this is what the IRS thinks about your money. It's theirs. The IRS, theirs. Everything you own is theirs. So they're coming after what is they consider to be theirs. Now, we think it's yours. And now we've got to find a solution to help you keep what is yours and away from them that they think is theirs. So that's what we have to go out there and do. But again, like I always said, if it's not us, it needs to be somebody. And it needs to be somebody that knows what they're doing. You can check us out on the BBB here in the Houston area, and you can see that we're A+ rated. We've got a lot of good reviews. We don't ask our clients to get out there and do reviews like some other people do. These people just get out there and do it because they like what we've done for them. But aside from that, check us out on the web at taxationsolutions.net. Remember, that's a .net. The other thing is just pick up the phone and call us. You know, if the solution is really easy, we're going to tell you, hey, just go and do this because this is what you need to do. And it's a free phone call, free consultation. We're not charging you to have that conversation. If you don't like the solution that we're offering, call somebody else. Compare what we're doing to what they're doing. You know, we know how to handle this. We know how to deal with it. We've been doing this for a very, very long time. I've taught a lot of enrolled agents out there on how to do what we do. Some of them are running their own companies. Some of them are working for other people. Some of them are still here working for us. But I enjoy what I do. I teach a lot. That's why I go to the trucking associations and truck shows, and I talk about taxes and tax problems. Today's business meeting and talking to business owners that have tax debt problems. Every one of them have, hey, this is what you can do. This is what we need to do. We're trying to teach them. We'll come away with several clients out of it because they want us to handle those situations and they don't want to do it themselves. If you choose to do it yourself and you decide, hey, this is just too much, pick up the phone and call us. You know, hey, we're going to try to find every way to bail you out of that situation and save you from what the IRS is trying to do. And, you know, that number again is 877-996-6477. Be a little bit slower here, 877-996-6477. I know sometimes I talk fast, but you can come back and watch these great shows here on YouTube.
They can call you from anywhere in California, right? Anywhere.
They can call me from anywhere across the country. So if you've got friends or family anywhere, I have got clients in every single state in this great country. I got people that are in other countries that are U.S. citizens or even non that actually owe taxes here that we've worked with and continue to work with. So it really doesn't matter where you're at. We're here to help you solve the problems with the IRS tax debt, your tax debts, business, personal, you name it. If you owe the IRS, we're here to save you from them.
And his dog's going to help too.
Oh, my dog's going to chase every IRS agent away, you know.
Gary, let's get your website again too.
That is taxationsolutions.net. You can see it here at the bottom of the screen if you're watching online. Again, if you're listening on the radio, it's taxationsolutions.net. And then you call us at 877-996-6477. And I tell you what, this is something we haven't done with Ask the Experts. But if you mention Ask the Experts, we're going to give you a 15% discount just for coming from Ask the Experts. And I don't care if you're referring friends over, they can use the code. We want you to help you solve your tax problem or help your friends or family. We don't want you to have to go to Thanksgiving and sit around the Thanksgiving table talking about how much you owe the IRS. We want you talking about how much Taxation Solutions taking the stress and the weight off your shoulders and letting us deal with the IRS and not you having to do it. So mention Ask the Experts, get that 15% off. Matter of fact, I got to call the office right after this and let them know I just did that. And then we'll take care of you from there.
Okay, buddy. Hey, Barry, as always, thank you. Barry's with us every month here. And Barry, you are the best. Have a good week.
Thank you, Steve-O. You have a great week too. And God bless you.
We're going to go to break.
And we are back with the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV with your hosts, Steve-O, Sophia, and their expert guests.
We are back. We are here in Chicago, and we received so many emails from our listeners saying, how come you don't do anything on dental? And so we actually wrote some of the people back and said, dental is a big area. And almost every one of them were either dental implants or cosmetic dentistry. But it all had to do with looks. And we found one of the top dentists, but in dental implants in the Chicago area. Let me welcome Dr. Etcha. How you doing? Oh, we don't have his mute on. Let's see. Can we get you to turn your mute on, Doctor? I think his mute's on, isn't it, Rebel?
Doctor, you are muted and I can't undo it. You have to do it on your end.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay. All right. I think we're good. Thank you so much. All right. Sir.
Well, we just gave you good. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Well, listen, we've had so many people ask us about dental implants and cosmetic dentistry, and we were so lucky to find you. You're going to be with us each month. So first of all, tell us about your practice.
Yeah, our practice is very unique. We provide solutions for patients that have missing teeth, broken teeth, damaged teeth, and they're looking for a permanent solution with implants versus denture. The dental implant has really shaped and helped our patients' aesthetic, form, function, and overall quality of life.
How long have you been in practice for, Dr. Tatcha?
I've been in practice for 26 years now.
No, you look too young. If you're watching, you look too young.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy what I do. Yeah, I enjoy what I do, and it keeps me young. We really help out with patients that need our help, that are not being helped in a regular dental cycle, and they're looking for a permanent solution to missing and broken and damaged teeth.
Well, I've got so many questions for you, but I want people to understand if you're missing teeth or you have to have extraction done, it really literally ruins your life. But once you've had dental implants done, your life changes like there's no tomorrow. You can smile, you can talk, right? And that's why I think this show is going to be so important. So, what are dental implants? How do they work?
Sure. So dental implants, I call it, it's the best thing that happened to the field of dentistry, because when you lose a tooth or when you lose all your teeth, you lose a part of you. It's no different than losing any part of your body, like a finger or your toe, or you lose your eyesight. That is severely missed. So if you lose a tooth, or if you lose your chewing teeth, or if you lose all their teeth, you can't eat your food. You can't digest your food. You don't smile in social interaction. It impacts your overall self-esteem and your mental wellness. So it's that your face is the lower 1/3 of your jaw is the lower 1/3 of your face. If you have missing teeth, it can have very, very negative consequences to your lower 1/3 of your face. So we're really rebuilding your lower 1/3 of your face back.
Do you find people coming in with gastro problems, people who are missing teeth, just on the way they digest their food, not being able to chew properly?
Yeah. So teeth is a pivotal part in digestion. Your digestion starts from the mouth, right? When you eat a piece of steak or when you eat some vegetables and salad, your teeth have to grind your food to break it down, so then your stomach can really digest it. It can go into your intestine and get all the nutrition. People that have broken teeth or they have dentures, They don't. They just swallow the food. And that's why they get a lot of digestive problems.
Let me, we just got our first text of the show in. Um, does dental implants hurt to have put in?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of people put off our level of care because they think it's going to hurt. They think
Yes.
they think that it's going to be like what it was 20, 30 years ago. Well, we all have a different approach. When we do dental implants, and patient has had anxiety about the procedure, we offer sedation. So sedation allows our patients having to get this procedure done in a very comfortable manner. They're relaxed, they're sedated, and they can get the procedure done. It's like going to any surgeon. You wouldn't have your tonsils removed. You wouldn't have a nose job done without being sedated. So when you're doing dental implants and surgery in the mouth, it's no different.
I remember when you used to get a bridge when you were missing teeth. Has implants replaced bridges?
Well, yeah, when you didn't do a bridge, you would take two teeth and you would grind them down, and then you'd put a fake tooth in the middle. So to replace one tooth, you created a two teeth problem. So now we can replace a single tooth implant if somebody just needs a single tooth without having to cut the teeth down for a traditional bridge.
Now we just got our second text in. Do you charge for consultations?
No, so that's our service to our patients. So we offer a complimentary consultation, which includes a very in-depth discussion with me, the doctor. I review your medical history. I take a 3D scan. That's at no charge to the patients. And I actually sit down with the patient. I review the medical history. I review their scan. I may do some pictures. And we sit down and go over patients' goals. What do they want? How is this situation impacting them? And what outcome do they want? And then we customize a treatment plan that's based on them and their needs. And then we help them get the procedure done.
We're getting a lot of text in. We just got another one in. I have been afraid to get dental implants because I thought it would keep me from going to work. How long does the process take, Doctor?
Well, so I mean, we're in a big city of Chicago, and a lot of my patients are professional. They're doctors, they're attorneys, they're nurses, they're business owners. So tooth loss, like anybody can have a tooth loss. Anybody can have bad teeth, right? Doesn't matter what you do. Now, our patients resume normalcy within a couple of days. If somebody needs a full mouth, like they need the entire top and bottom replaced with implants, take a couple of days off work, and then go back to work. But if somebody just needs a single tooth, they don't need sedation. They can have the procedure done, and they can be back in the office that afternoon or the next day.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah. What about is there a such thing as a candidate or what a non-candidate for dental implants? I mean, can anybody have them?
Well, so that's the best thing about dental implants is they're 97, 98% successful. We do tens of thousands of cases or have done tens of thousands of cases. So a lot of our patients come to us. They've been told that they're not a good candidate. They don't have enough bone. They need bone grafting, all that. That may be true, but it depends on the level of experience and the training of the doctor, right? So a lot of our patients that come to us with little to no hope, when we take a 3D scan and we look at the bone quality, most patients are a great candidate. And they don't have to go through these extensive bone grafting procedure. However, there may be some few patients that have very attenuated medical history that would prevent them to have any surgical procedure done. So that's why we always do a very in-depth analysis of the patient's medical history to make sure, A, they're a good candidate.
I tell you what, I think dental implants is one of the greatest things that come out in the world of dentistry. I think I know that my mother had to have implants, and she told me how much it changed her life. I mean, it literally was life-changing. And she would tell me how she was always afraid to smile. She said she would talk different. And once she got the implants, she said, I just felt so free. And I think that's what's so great about implants.
Well, it is. It's about treatment, right? It's about that impact that we have. So when my team and we treat a patient, we're looking at, yeah, they get a beautiful smile, but the overall impact on their health, their digestion, their form, their function, their aesthetics, their mental health, it goes on all dynamics. They get better job. They end up getting married. They end up getting in better relationships. They get a promotion because they feel better about themselves. So just like you said, it really you become whole again.
If you're watching on TV right now, we're scrolling Dr. Atch's phone number. And they also have a website, which is www.newteethchicago.com. What a great name for a practice. Usually, how long does it take from the time they come in to see you? Let's just say they have a full mouth. We'll start off with the worst possible thing can happen. How long does it take to get all the new teeth in?
That's a great question. I just had a call yesterday that asked my team members is that I've been researching it for a while, from the consultation to the surgery you're getting this, and how long can you get us in? So we get very busy, especially this time of year. A lot of our patients want their teeth before the holidays and before the year is over. But typically, if somebody came in for a consultation on Monday, if everything is good, their medical history is good, we can take records, and we have an on-house digital lab and a lab technician. We can get them into surgery on as early as Wednesday or Thursday. So we can get them in as soon as given our schedule. We have the ability to do it because we are able to design the teeth, make the teeth, and do everything in-house versus sending it out.
You make the teeth in-house?
We do.
That is, I got to tell you, because we have other dental implants in our markets, and that's a first. That is amazing that you do them right there on property.
Well, it's been a great transformation for us in terms of as a business, but at the same time, being able to provide that next level of care when we have a CAD team, when we have a design team, and when we have a lab tech, all of us collaborate, and we take each patient and then we design the case based on their facial profile, their facial aesthetics. We really look at the face. We look at the patient's personality. And then we design the teeth based on what fits the patient's personality and what the patient wants, right? And then I take the data and I plot it to plan the surgery. And then we actually merge everything, and everything is done digitally. And that has really transformed the way we deliver care for our patients.
What about, you hear a lot about people who are missing bone. Can they still be a candidate?
Well, most of them can. I mean, when you lose a tooth, when you lose a lot of teeth, it's a shrinkage process. Your bone begins to shrink because it's not in use. So that's why taking a 3D scan of our patient's jaw, looking at all the data, and let the patients know, hey, there is minimal bone that is available to do the implants. Or sometimes you may have to say there's no bone available and it's gone to the point of no return. But from our experience, that we bring 20 years of experience, most patients are a candidate.
Did we lose them?
No, I'm here. I'm still
Okay,
here.
good. The other day I saw a commercial, and I've learned since that everybody calls it something different. Do you do teeth in a day?
Absolutely. That's what we've been doing. That's our signature treatment. So absolutely. How can I?
So you also do the teeth in a day, which is that different from implants?
Okay, so the implants are what goes in the jawbone.
Right.
But teeth in the day is an actual concept. So the teeth in the day is like if all the bad teeth have to come out, implants go in at the same time, and patients leave with a beautiful set of teeth the same day.
That's amazing.
That's
I
the
know
teeth
my
in the day.
mother, it took her 2 or 3 weeks to get hers all done. She had to keep coming back in.
Sure. No, it's with this newer, with a more technology and advances. I mean, we've been doing teeth in a day protocol with the implants for the last 2 decades. But we always kept perfecting it, getting our surgical protocols better, getting our design protocols better, and having an in-house lab creates even more efficiency for us.
Well, I saw the greatest news the other day. Now, I don't know if you know about this yet, but I know that I heard what I heard, that a lot of the Medicare is going to start paying for dental implants. Do you know
Okay.
anything about that?
Actually, no, we don't, because from our knowledge, it really doesn't participate in what we do in the implants. So unless you do otherwise, I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, it's a flex card that some of the Medicare companies now are doing that pay for. Now, I don't know if it's the whole thing, but they pay towards dental implants. I just thought that was great because usually, a lot of people are, especially when you have a lot of teeth missing, they're usually a little bit older, and good chance they could be on Medicare. But I hope that's true. That would be wonderful if Medicare would end up paying for dental implants.
Well, a lot of our patients are actually quite young. A lot of
Is
our
that
patients
right?
oh yeah, a lot of if you go to our Instagram page and social media page, a lot of our patients are in their 30s, 40s, 50s. So when I first started doing implants about 2 decades ago, I was in a lot of elderly patients that were missing teeth and they had dentures and they wanted a better solution. Well, now the world is different. You have a lot of younger generation who had bad care growing up. They're looking for an expert. They're looking for a specialist that is knowledgeable and doing it all in one day. And they're happy to invest in themselves. They don't care about insurance. They don't care about Medicare. If Medicare ever covers it for seniors, that's a great thing. They're good for them. But from my bringing my 2 decades of experience, that hasn't happened yet.
Well, that's good to know. I also saw somebody advertising dental implants cheaper overseas. I would be a little bit nervous about that.
Actually, you should be very nervous about that. Once
Very nervous.
Yeah, once a week, if not once every 2 weeks, we actually narrate a case that came to us. That patient went overseas to have it done to save some money, but now those implants are done very poorly. They were designed very poorly. They were placed very poorly, and the aesthetic and the prosthetic outcome was absolutely horrific. So there's no accountability. There's no way of gauging, are they getting good dental implants or are they getting bad dental implants? It's a surgical procedure. So we always frown upon it. We've had patients come to us week after week that have had went abroad to save a few bucks, but now they're like, wish they haven't done that. So I'm sure there are a lot of great doctors overseas, but when it comes to healthcare, it really matters to be in the United States and being with a specialist that is within your community. And if any complications happen, you can go back to your doctor, and the doctor and the team can take care of you, versus you going back and forth to medical tourism.
Well, my final question, probably the most important question of the day, is why should I come to you rather than somebody else?
Well, patients have choices, we understand. But one of the reasons why patients choose myself, my team, and our clinic is because of our experience. We are one of the earlier doctors who've done the full mouth implants in Chicagoland area. So our reputation speaks for ourselves, and we pride ourselves in that. Our patients not only just come from Chicago, but our patients are willing to fly from other parts of the country to come to us. So they're going to get a very personalized attention from me, my team. They're going to get a warm, fuzzy feeling because we give that concierge level of service, and we're going to be there every step of the way, holding the hand. And the patients that I saw 10 years ago or 12 years ago, I still see them, right? That's the continuity of care. And patients like that when they are investing in themselves, when they're looking for a specialist. They don't want somebody going to a place where there's a turnover of doctors, and then 2 years later, the doctor's no longer there. So, a very different level of care, and we pride ourselves on that. And that's why patients choose to come to us. And when they look at our before and after pictures, they find a lot of comfort and trust that I see myself growing over here and getting it done. So those are the qualities that I and my team bring to our patients.
Well, I got to tell you, anybody who gives credit to his team, that's who I want to be with. Dr. Atcha, you did an incredibly great job today. I can't wait for you to come on again next month. For those of you who are listening on radio, the phone number is 312-951-8338. For those of you who are watching on TV, we've been scrolling the number in the website. Dr. Adjut, thank you so much, and we'll see you again next month.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Pleasure.
Great job. That was Dr. Adjut. That's it for us today. We'll be back with you again next week with more Chicago experts. Everybody have a wonderful week. Stay well. Thank you, Rebel. See you soon.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.